we're going to do a little bit of fascial release work. So you guys know that when I do a lot of my release work, you can do it just literally through the movement that we do, but you can also do some very targeted release work, and it almost gets the trigger points a little bit. So it's quite nice if you have a tennis ball, if you've got a massage ball, like a spiky one, and if you don't have a ball, get yourself a tin of canned food. That works as well. But then just make sure that you've got a little hand towel beside you so you can cover the tin on some of the work, because it might get a little bit intense or uncomfortable as well. All right. Okay, let's mute the class there, and then we can have a chat afterwards. Guys, enjoy one of my favorite sessions, fascial release work. Okay, so what I want you to do is bring your ball or your tin just up to the front edge of your mat there. It's actually quite warm today, so I don't need my long sleeve on. So, and you're just going to stand behind it. If you've got the tin, then just turn it onto its edge so that you're going to be able to roll your foot on it. So separate your feet slightly. Just let your arms and your shoulders relax. Maybe just do a little bit of a wiggle of the spine, a little tilt of the head, a little bend of the knees, whatever feels good for you. And then just make yourself settle into a quiet standing space. Let your eyes close, let your gaze soften. And starting to notice your physical body from the inside out. Become aware of your breathing, your heartbeat. Becoming aware of your heart, your lungs, and all your internal organs. Start to notice your deep muscles around your core, around your joints. Start to notice the more superficial muscles, the muscles closer to your skin. Notice your skin itself. And once again, from the inside out, start to notice and feel all your fascia, all the connective tissue running in layers upon layers around your internal organs, around your muscles, around your joints. And that very, very first layer of fascia directly underneath the skin. Perhaps notice any areas of tension as you're standing here. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh. And then as you're ready, start opening your eyes, blinking, let the daylight in. We're going to start with a roll down. Inhales, you lengthen. Exhales, you nod your chin, and just allow your joints to softly fold over. Feeling the spine, the shoulders, the hips, the knees. And just going as deep as your body allows. Stay there for a moment. Notice how it feels. Take a little breath, and then exhale, back up you come. Allowing your feet to root into the ground, allowing your body to bring you all the way upright into a standing position. Stay here for a moment, bringing your right hand out in front of you, thumb sticking up, And then start to open the arm to the side. Some of you have done this with me before, where you take it as far as you can, make a little note of where you have twisted to, and then come all the way back and bring that arm down. Left hand, bring it up, and then open up, and we are checking out the spiral lines of fascia. How far can you go on this left side? Make a little mental note, and then come all the way back and let your hand come down. Now taking your right foot, put it onto your prop and start to roll it around under your foot. Now make it incredibly light. If you're losing balance, then put your hand on the wall to help you or on a chair. And you almost want to feel like you're tickling the bottom of your foot. Make sure you get over the entire surface of the foot, from the heels to the toes, the inside arch and the outside blade. And then you're going to continue rolling your foot, but now make your foot floppy and go quite hard. So now you're getting into those deep muscles of the foot, what are called the intrinsic muscles of the foot. And guys, our feet are incredibly complex. We've got 25% of our bones in the feet themselves, which is just crazy. And then you've got all these muscles and ligaments and tendons. And now keep the hard pressure, but stiffen up your foot. And now what we're facilitating is massaging out and releasing the fascia that's around those intrinsic muscles. So we're going quite deep. If you find a trigger point, then stay on it. Give yourself that lovely workout over your foot. And then let yourself settle, bringing that foot off the wall. Stand for a moment. And then close your eyes. And take a moment to notice how your right foot feels. Is it different from the left side? And just my personal experience is that I almost feel like my foot has melted out underneath me. It feels that there's actually more connection to the mat with that right side. And then when you're ready, open your eyes, find your balance, and now you're going to do the same thing with the left foot on the ball or on the tin. And we start off super duper light. And again, getting into that very, very first layer of fascia that's underneath the foot. And guys, there's so much fascinating information coming out about fascia now. And it has more nerve endings than our muscles. Isn't that crazy? We've just been ignoring the fascia for ages and focusing on the muscles. So no, we're not going to ignore the muscles, but we want to realize that they work together. And now put more pressure, but make a floppy foot. Get into those deep muscles, the intrinsic muscles. And again, if you find a place that you feel, oh, that's it, pay it a little bit of attention. Make sure you get over the entire surface of the foot. And then stiffen up your foot and keep that hard pressure. So we're going a little bit deeper here. Hold on to something if you're losing your balance. And then let yourself settle. Remove the foot. And then once again, close your eyes as you stand there. So you really have a chance to focus on how it feels. What is the ripple effect that release of your foot had? Are you getting that same sense of connecting to the floor that you did when you released the right side? And in your own time, open your eyes, blink gently. We're going to take a breath in. Exhale as you nod your chin, and we start rolling forward through the spine. So now when you go into this roll down, just notice how does it feel? Because the fascia that connects underneath the foot is actually connected to the entire back line of the body. So maybe you have in the legs or in your back now. Take a breath in. Exhale, back up you come, using abdominals as you roll all the way up. Lifting up nice and full and rolling the shoulders back and around. There's a giant spider walking towards me. I'm keeping calm, people. And you're going to bring your right hand out. We're going to see where he goes. Start opening the right hand to the side. And now, how has that release affected the spiral line of your body? Can you go further? Yes. And release it all the way around. Me too. I probably went about 3 inches further. Let your hand come down. Bring your left hand up. And open up. So the spiral line of the body actually also connects under the sole of the foot. And bring it all the way around to the front and releasing it down. Now stay as you are. I'm just turning to face you. You're to sweep your right hand out to the side, letting your hand rest on top of your head. And we're going to start with that little transition of your hip, releasing to the side. Now remember, you can do this with knees straight. You can do this with one knee straight and one knee bending. Or you can do this with both knees bent. Or you can make this so small that it's not a huge pull. And I would recommend it small if you have any lower back issues or sacroiliac joint issues. If it feels good for you, then you can move a little bit more freely. And now let's add in the release of the ribs. And can you feel now, when you release the side line all the way up to the ribs, that your movement almost has to slow down? So don't work at any set pace, and you don't have to go at the same rhythm I am. All of our bodies are responding differently to this. And then if this is feeling good for you, you can add some tensioning with the top arm by reaching and releasing. That's it. So now we're releasing the lateral lines of the body. What we did 2 seconds ago with massaging the foot was release the back line of the body and the spiral line. One more time, and all the way up you come. And as always, we're going to pause. Close your eyes and just observe, how is your body responding to that side line release? Open your eyes, blinking. Placing now your left hand, let it rest on top of your head. And now you're going to do a little release with your left hip left. And remember, bent knees, straight knees, one knee bent, one knee straight. Make it big, make it small. You have to tap into how your body is responding to this movement. And you might actually notice that it starts to naturally get a little bit bigger. And then when you're ready, let's add a little release of the rib cage. So the lateral line of the body comes up the side of the leg, the side of the hip, and believe it or not, it includes the gluteus maximus. We always kind of think the gluteus maximus is part of the back line, but it actually isn't. It's part of the side line. And then comes all the way up the side of the ribs and around the shoulder to the neck. And then if you want to add some tensioning with the arm, you can add a stretch. So here's the other interesting thing we've been finding out about fascia, is that it is elastic and it is plastic. So in other words, we can train strength into it, and we can train flexibility and release into it. One more time. All the way up you come. Just let your arm relax, and once again, close your eyes and simply observe. How does it feel? Do you have some symmetry and balance between the right and the left side? When you're ready, Opening your eyes, blinking gently. Take a breath in. Enlarge your chin and we start releasing through the spine. Just make your body fold over at the joints. And I don't know about you guys, that feels so much easier for me now. Take a nice easy breath in. And then exhale, up you come. Remember to use those abdominals as you come all the way up. Shoulders relaxed and lifting nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back and around. Now we're going to do a little bit of balance work here. So I want you to place your hands just onto the shelf or pelvis and move your body weight onto the right leg and just pick up your left knee and hold it in the air. And we're simply gauging how is our balance this morning, because let's face it, it changes from day to day, right? Notice that there is a constant shift and readjust that comes through your body as you're standing. It's not that you suddenly miraculously find this where you're balanced, okay? There's a constant work that's happening from the foot and rippling upwards. And then release that left leg down. Now let's try standing on the other side. So shift your body weight to the left, bringing that right knee up. And once again, just observing how is your balance on this side. Maybe there's more work required, or maybe there's less work. You can find stillness a little bit easier. Stay with your breath. And then releasing that foot all the way down. So I want you to let your hands release. You're going to take one hand, and whether or not you put the fingers in or just pretend, we're going to open our mouth as wide as possible, and you're going to slip your hands in this way. Okay? There's an intense release at TMJ, at the jaw right here. Slide your fingers out. Let your jaw relax and soften. And now, shift onto that right leg. Bringing the left knee up. And what we've done, by opening the mouth and releasing the TMJ, that's your temporomandibular joint, is we've connected into the deep midline of the fascia. So you might feel more centered now because you've connected into this deep midline of the body. And then release, shift over to the left leg, bringing the right knee up. And how does it feel on this side? I mean, for some people, it's got quite an amazing effect because the deep midline goes into the throat, the diaphragm, around the viscera, pelvic floor, and to the inner thighs here. And we're going to release all the way down. Stay where you are, let your arms relax. Take another breath in, grow tall. Exhale as you nod your chin, is your jaw okay? And rolling forward through your spine. Just letting yourself fold all the way over. And I want you to just pick up the ball. And then you're going to balance one hand on one knee. Take the ball or your tin in the other hand. And start massaging the front of your ankle. All around the front of the ankle, maybe even just onto the top of the foot. And there's a thick band of fascia here called the retinaculum. And it holds the muscles onto the shin bone. And then switch over to the other side. Make sure that you're supporting yourself with your other hand so that you're not taking any strain in your back as you do this. So again, the fascia has a lot of nerves in it. So clinically, what you might hear people say is that it's highly innervated. All it means is that it's got a lot of nerves ending into it. And it responds incredibly quickly to this kind of stimulus. And then release. You can place the ball down. Let your arms hang heavy. Take a moment to shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Take another breath in. And exhale, back you come up to standing. Rolling all the way up. And lifting nice and tall. Place your hands onto the shelf of your hip, moving your body weight onto your right leg, lifting the left knee up, and just observing how the release at the front of the ankle now has affected your stability and balance. How does that feel for you? Maybe there's a difference, maybe there isn't. And releasing the foot down, switching over, so now you're going to stand on the left leg, bringing the right leg up, observing your balance. And for any of you that did ballet, or you've seen it, you know, when ballerinas tie their shoes, those ribbons, they follow the line of that fascia with their ribbons. It's the same shape. And releasing all the way down, nicely done. You're going to stay as you are, let your arms relax. Take a nice easy breath, and then nod your chin and we start rolling forward through the spine. Coming all the way down. You can move the ball to the side or to the front, just so you have a little bit more space. I want you to bend your knees, and then stepping your right leg all the way back. Hold it there, and then lower your right knee to the ground. If you need some padding underneath the knee, then please do it. Relaxing the foot back, and then bring your hands back in line with the heel, and let's just start shifting backwards and forwards. And if you're pretty flexible, you might be able to straighten that front leg, no problem. And then press back and hold it. Now, if your leg is straight, bend it a little bit. Lift your toes up towards the sky, and then start doing that internal, external rotation so that you have movement coming from the top of the thigh bone here. Your foot and your knee are moving because of the top of the thigh bone. And it's a feeling of lengthening forward through the crown of the head and keeping the heart up. So this again is fascial release for the hamstrings. Bringing your leg all the way back to center, placing the foot down, walking your hands forward. Now stay on the tips of your fingers, tuck the back toes, and lift that leg up. Now, put your hands flat down and step the left leg back. And we're just going to hold plank pose here just for a second. Reach forward through the crown of the head. And then lower your knees to the ground. Release your toes back. Round your spine like a cat. And you're just going to push back and stay here. We're not going to do any bouncing today. Keep your hands where they are. And as you breathe, you might start to notice that there's almost a little bit of tensioning or pull around the sacrum and around the lumbar spine. And again, this is working on the fascia along that back line. On your next breath, come forward. Bring your shoulders just in line with your wrists, and then walk your knees forward so you're in a comfortable 4-point kneeling position. Now you're going to step, or not step, slide your left leg back, lift the left leg up and hold it, flex your foot, and then sweep your leg around to the side and place your foot down. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see what we're doing. So now you're going to have your foot rolled flat as much as possible. If there's any discomfort in the knee or in the hip, then please make any adjustments that you need. Long spine, start moving back and forward. So again, this is fascial release work, and we are working on releasing the adductor muscle on the left leg. And that adductor muscle is part of our deep midline. So this is connected to when we stuck our fingers in our mouths. One more time, go halfway back, hold it. Round your spine like a cat and push up onto the tips of the fingers rings and we hold it here. Put your left hand to your left leg, bringing the right arm up and over, and we create gentle pulses. Turn your head if you need to. Two more. One more. All the way up you come. Bringing your hands out and turn the palm of your hand to be opening across the heart. And we're going to slide over towards the right and draw back to the center. So as you slide towards the side, you're trying to create this long straight line with the body. And can you feel how it creates a little bit of tensioning around the obliques here? So it's not all about releasing the fascia. Remember I said that it's elastic and plastic? So we can actually affect the strength of the fascia as well. Shall we do one more time? Slide over. Now hold it there. If you would like to challenge, how about you bring your arms and open. Beautiful. One more time. And open. Hold it. Bring it all the way back. Bring your hands up. Turn the palms forward. Cast it over like a waterfall. Use the abdominals. Allow your hips to move back if they need to. Put your fingertips to the ground. Walk your hands forward until you can put the palms of your hands flat. Lengthen your spine. Pick up your left leg. Sweep it all the way around to the back. And then bringing the knee all the way in. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips and let's move to a downward facing dog. Start pegging the heels down one at a time. Oh, that is such an amazing release for the calf muscles. And then press both heels towards the ground. Lift your head to look forward and start walking your feet all the way forward. Come onto your fingertips if you need to. And then fold over. Relax. Take a breath in. And then roll back up into standing, using the abdominals as you come all the way up. Shoulders relaxed. Maybe roll them around if you need to. And then pause here and close your eyes. Notice the effect of the fascial release and the breath on your body. How does your left line feel? Blinking your eyes open. Take a breath in. Exhale, nod your chin, and we start to fold over once again. Making it as easy as possible. Soften your knees as much as you need to. Placing the fingertips to the ground. And now this time, stepping the left leg all the way back. Holding it there. Maybe place a pillow underneath that knee as you lower it down. Relax the left foot back. And then walk your hands back just so that they're in line with the heel. And then we start moving forwards and backwards. As much as possible, keeping the length of the spine, keeping the heart lifted. And let's do one more time. Move back now, stay here. Lifting your toes up, keep the knee a little bit bent. And then moving from the top of the thigh bone, rolling the foot out and in, keeping your heart lifted, keeping that length through your crown. And then just centering yourself, placing the foot down, walking your hands forward, stay on the tips of your fingers, tuck the toes under, and then pick up the back knee. Now put the palms of your hands flat. Stepping the right leg back. And there we are in our plank pose, our push-up position. Pause for a moment. Let your knees come down. Release the toes. Round your spine back. And this time we're going to add gentle pulses, 8 of them. So we're just intensifying that release into the lower back and the sacrum by adding a little bit of a trampolining action. And it's gentle, we're never forcing ourselves, right? Come all the way forward, bringing your shoulders above your wrists, and then bring the knees in line. Set yourself up, and now we're going to do the right leg. Stretch the right leg back. Lift that leg up and pause here, flexing the foot, and then sweeping your leg around to the right side and place the foot flat down. So again, I'm going to do a mirror image for you. Nice long spine, and we start moving backwards and forwards. And by the way, the more that you can keep your knee straight, the more you'll feel an adductor release. The more that you can keep your spine lengthened, the more you'll feel a release. So if this is super duper tight, those are really nice modifications, is to bend the knee or to round the spine. Go halfway back, round your spine like a cat, and push onto the tips of your fingers. Start rolling yourself all the way up, and then spread your wings. Placing right hand down, left arm over, and it's a gentle pulse. So once again, we're coming into the lateral line, but it's going to be slightly different of how it registers on your body because we don't have our standing legs straight. So we're getting a little bit more focused release into the upper part of that lateral line. One more. Come all the way up. Turn the palms of your hands up, open up across the heart, and let's just do a little slide to the left. And draw back in. And again, a little bit of a slide. Nicely done, guys. Energy through the fingertips. Only as far as you can manage to hold it without taking any strain in the back. This is the last one. Now slide to the side. You can stay here, or you can bring the hands closer together and open it out. You're trying to create that long line from the toe to the fingertips. And open, hold it, come back to the center, hands go up, palms face forward, cascade. Fingertips to the floor, walking your hands out, lengthening the spine, lift up your leg, sweep your leg around to the back. I'm going to turn sideways, bringing your knee in, tucking your toes under, and once again moving into your inverted V, your downward facing dog. For those of you that have worked on the reformer before, this is similar to the elephant or the cat, the upstretch. Push both heels towards the ground. And then on your next breath, lower your knees to the floor. Open your knees wide, and you know that I love to give a little bit of a pause in between all of these movements. And just stay here. And taking a moment to observe. Give yourself as many supports or padding. Taking a nice easy breath in and out. And then slowly walking your hands towards your knees as you unravel your spine, coming all the way upright. And then I'm going to sit facing you, and you're going to have your right shin in front, left shin to the side, placing your right hand to the floor, and we're just going to do one long stretch over, and then coming all the way up. Turn the palm of your hand up, look up at your hand, and we're going to inhale to open up the arm line. And then exhale as we round, bringing the hands towards each other. And again, breathing in. And breathe it out. Taking just a few more. One more. Come back to the center. Bringing yourself upright. We're going to do a little balance in the middle here. So bringing your feet in front of you, lifting the feet off the ground, lightly raise the fingertips, tuck your chin in, and perhaps you can close your eyes. So again, you start to feel your body from the inside out. One more breath in and out. Open eyes slowly, and then just pivot your feet over to the other side. So now you're going to have your left shin to the front. Get yourself comfortable. Placing left hand to the side. Let's do one long stretch over. Make any adjustments that you need, and then coming all the way up. Look up at the palm of your hand, and we inhale to open up the chest, and exhale. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Notice the areas that are easy for you, and maybe notice the areas that are holding you back a little bit. Come back to the center and release. Now, just spin onto your bum cheeks. And I want you to make sure that you've got the ball handy for yourself or the tin. And knees and feet are slightly apart. Arms are extended out. We take a breath in. And on one exhale, take yourself down onto the mat, using the abdominals to help you control it and releasing all the way back. So you're going to just bring your feet a little closer to your bottom or your bottom closer to your feet, whatever works for you. Put your hands on the floor beside you, palms down or palms up, and we're going to go into a shoulder bridge, a pelvic curl. When you're ready, tilt your hips and start rolling up into your bridge position. So remember that you've got the abdominals connected and you've got the gluteus maximus doing its job here. Don't let your lower back take over. And then start to ripple down through the spine and release. We're going to do that again. Exhale, a little bit of a tilt of the hips, rolling up into the bridge. Pause here for a moment. Take a little breath, and then slowly, slowly down through the spine. Imprint and release. Now, you're going to take your prop and you're just going to slip it underneath your sacrum. So it's not in the lower back, it's a bit lower down. And if you've got a tin, I would suggest putting a thin towel over it just so that it's not so hard. And try to get it as centered as possible on your spine without hurting yourself. And then see if you can take your hands up to the side. Can you feel some pressure around the sacrum? So guys, remember that the sacrum is that little area of the spine below the lumbar spine, but above the tailbone. So you kind of have to feel for yourself. And then maybe let's do a little bit of a rocking action from side to side. If you're on a ball, you might be able to roll your hips. If you're on a tin, depending on which way the tin is placed, you might need to literally rock your hips from side to side. So this is actually hydrating the fascia. When you use a prop like this, as opposed to just moving like we normally do, this actually draws water towards the fascia and hydrates it, which is a good thing, by the way. And then just come to the center And then maybe you just want to close your eyes and literally just give your body weight to your prop, connecting into your breath. And then slowly open your eyes, lift your hips up, remove the prop from underneath yourself and placing yourself down. Now, first of all, if you just lie there for a moment, doesn't that feel different? I mean, I feel like my whole lower back is melted. Maybe it registers for you, maybe not, depending on if you're tight in those areas. Now, eyes open, we're going to repeat our pelvic curl. So as you breathe out, do a little tilt of the hips and rolling up into your bridge. And perhaps again, just noticing if there's a release here for you or not. And slowly come down through the spine, softening from the back of the throat, across the chest, through the belly, and release. We're going to do one more time. And again, a little bit of a tilt of the hips. Rolling up, lifting up into your bridge. Pause for a moment. And then again, ripple down through the spine. And release. Nicely done. Now, we're going to take our little prop and we're going to place it just on one side of the spine, but at the upper back. So it's going to be just sort of behind the, I'm going to turn so that you guys can see. It's going to be in between the spine and the shoulder blade. So it's not on the shoulder blade itself. It's sort of up towards the mid-back area. Yeah, and by the way, if you need to take a cushion now and put it underneath your head, then take a little cushion, give yourself some support, because you might feel that there's quite a bit of pressure there. Yeah.
Supposed to put your head down.
Yeah. So that's why if your head doesn't comfortably reach the floor, then give yourself a prop. And then just let your pelvis settle. You're going to feel that the one shoulder is lifted. It doesn't matter which side you're doing. But now, whichever arm you have the ball under, you might want to move it if it's feeling really uncomfortable. And then just bring your hand up towards the sky. And let's just start with a gentle open and close of the arm. You might even want to bring the arm across your body. So what we've done is the ball is effectively gripping the fascia, and then we're letting the muscle glide underneath it. So in the past, what we've normally done is roll around on foam rollers or roll around on the balls. And this is a slightly different technique, but incredibly effective because you're promoting that gliding action now. And you might notice that it's starting to release. Then bring your hand up and maybe try a little bit of overhead movement. So it's almost like you're doing a single arm scissor. And if you feel that this point has released for you now, then move the ball around and find your next trigger point. You might need to move it a little bit higher up towards the shoulder for you. And then bringing the arm all the way down. And then roll yourself off the prop, move it to the side for a second, and then literally just lie flat. You can remove the prop underneath your head, close your eyes. And how does that feel? So for some people, and I'd have to say the majority of us, we hold so much tension through our neck and shoulders. So you might feel that there's quite an amazing release on the side you were just working. All right, now when you're ready, we do have another side. So move the prop over to the other side. And again, it's not going to be comfortable, guys, but you don't want it to be painful. So you might need to move it around. And remember, you might want to put a little prop underneath your head like I am. And also be aware, maybe the other side needs a slightly different trigger point. Then let yourself settle, bringing that same arm up towards the ceiling. So you're working the same arm as where the ball is. Let's do a little open and close of the arm first. And bring the arm across your body. And by the way, these are just the guideline movements that I'm giving you. Open and close the arms and then scissor the arms. You can do arm circles, you can do internal, external rotation. So if you want to explore something a little bit different here, then please feel free. And then bringing your hand up, and let's just try that single arm scissor. Oh, this is such an amazing release. So there are quite a few muscles that sit around this area, the main one being the rhomboids. We've also got the trapezius muscle underneath the scapula. We've got the subscapularis muscle, the serratus anterior. So it could be working any of those that are tight on you. And then bringing the hand up, and then roll off the ball or the tin, whatever it is that you're using. And then once again, just lie back and let yourself notice the effect. Opening your eyes, making sure that you're standing evenly on your feet. Let's go back into the pelvic curl. Tilting your hips, rolling up into that bridge. Do a little squeeze with the gluteals, and just notice how this is now registering differently with your upper back. And ripple down through the spine. And release at the bottom. Let's do one more time. A little bit of a tilt of the hips. Rolling up. Pause for a moment. And then rippling down through the spine. And release. Fabulous. Bring your hands up towards the sky. Interlock your fingers. Let's place your hands underneath your head for support. And we're just going to do a couple of chest lifts here. So you're going to nod your chin. And then breathe out as you come up into a little chest lift. And release. And just observe how, now that we've released the sacrum, now that we've released that little area along the upper back, does this feel different for you than it normally would? Because now maybe your awareness has shifted to the release of the back line as opposed to having to work the front line. Come back. And now hold it here. Relax as much as you can. I want you to take your two thumbs underneath your head. Let your arms relax wherever they need to. And start feeling around at the base of your skull. By the way, the base of your skull is called the occipital bone. And I want you to find, oh, I've got mine. I want you to find the pressure points for yourself. And by the way, you might have more than one. And then I want you to hold those pressure points with your thumbs and just let the weight of your head relax back onto your hands. And then when you're feeling that it's not too intense, do a little nod, tiny, 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 yes, 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 yes. Can you feel now that once again you are gripping the fascia, but you're gliding, you're moving the muscle underneath it. And then let your head settle. And maybe let's do one more pressure point. So move your fingers around, because I promise you, you can have more than one pressure point there. Most of us do. Find your next pressure point and then hold your fingers there and let your head relax back. You're not forcing it. You're letting the weight of your head and gravity create the release. And then when you feel that it's not too uncomfortable, nod, yes, 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 yes. And it's tiny. Doesn't have to be anything more than that. And then let your head settle. And then once again, place your hands behind your head, elbows lifted, and let's go once again into our chest lift. Breathing out as you curl forward. And releasing back. How does your head and neck feel? Sometimes, if we can get the release into the fascia, it creates a sense of ease of your skull sitting on top of your spine, and it almost makes you feel that your head is lighter. Feel that, hey, Jules?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a balloon.
Exactly, just like a balloon. One more time. And release. And then let's just stretch the legs out, reach the arms overhead. So you're going to do a lovely good morning stretch. Maybe do a little croissant to one side and then over to the other side, a little croissant. And come back to the center and relaxing the arms down. I want you to turn onto your stomach. I'm just going to turn the other way. It's a little bit easier for me to see you guys, but you can just flip directly onto your stomach. And we're just going to go into our little baby cobra that we have been doing in all our classes. So place your hands so that you've got your neck and shoulders nice and easy. You can have your legs a little bit apart if you like. Engaging the gluteals, hover the tip of your nose, and we're going to inhale to lift up into a baby cobra, and then exhale and release down. We're going to do two more. Inhale and release. One more time. Inhale and release down. All right, now you're going to take your little prop. And this can be a bit of an uncomfortable one, guys. So especially if you've got a hard ball or if you've got a tin, make sure that you pad it slightly because you're going to be placing it on the center of your sternum. Okay? So find the place where you can actually just give a little bit of body weight to it. Use your arms to help yourself and see if you can rest your head all the way down. So you're actually relaxed into it. And then start to do a little bit of a rocking from side to side. So we have some major muscles that connect onto the front of our chest here. And that is the pectoralis major. And that is our chest muscle that connects onto the sternum. And then if you want to, you can move the prop a little bit, maybe find a slightly different pressure point. Still using your arms to support you, letting your head rest onto the floor and doing a little bit of a rocking from side to side. And then say to yourself, slide the prop out, but keep it close at hand because you're going to need it again in a second. Now, when you hover the tip of your nose, you might already notice that it feels different on your chest. We're going to inhale to come up into a baby cobra. And how easy does that feel on the front of your body? And releasing it down. And again. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Nicely done. Now, take your prop, and now you're going to place it at the front of your shoulder. So you kind of have to figure out where's the point that you're not going to be pushing directly onto a bone. Doesn't matter which side you do first, but the other hand, just place it under your forehead so that you can rest there. And then once you have the prop in the correct place for your shoulder, you can start just moving your arm around. And there's no right or wrong way to move the arm. I know some people like to bend the elbow, place the hand into the lower back, and then almost do like a little chicken wing dance. Some people like to move the arms around to the side as if they're drawing an angel in the snow. Some people just like to hold their arm beside them and do a little turning in and out. So just figure it out for yourself so that it feels like a nice release for you. And then Let your arm come down, lift up the shoulder. Just put the prop to the side for a second, bend your elbows, and then just rest your head and just notice, how does that side feel?
Very warm.
It will increase the circulation, definitely. Bring all the blood flow and the hydration. And then let's do the other side as well. So find a little place underneath your shoulder. And again, you don't want it to be painful. You know, it's not going to be comfortable, but you know, don't cross over to pain. And then rest your head on the other hand and start playing with the arm movement. So for me, I quite like to have my palm facing up because then I'm getting that internal rotation of the shoulder. And then I bend my elbow and place my hand in my lower back, and then I just flap my elbow up and down like a little chicken wing. So you might want to try that. If that doesn't feel good for you, then try some other movements. And then just let your arm relax beside you. Lift the shoulder up. Move the prop out of the way. Let your hands come onto either side of you. Let your head rest down for a moment. And then just notice how it feels on that side you were just releasing. Cover the tip of your nose. Long spine. Baby cobra. We inhale. And can you feel the difference? And exhale. Because oftentimes when we do back extension, yes, maybe our back muscles are weak, maybe we need to strengthen them, but oftentimes it's the front of the body that's restricting us. So we have just freed up the front of the body. One more time. Inhale. And release. Beautiful. Hook your elbows up, place your hands to the floor, press up onto all fours, and then just for a moment, come into a 4-point kneeling position, and let's do a little bit of cat stretch here. Rounding the spine up, lengthen the spine, move towards an extension, and taking just a few more. And on the next one, round your spine up and then just stay there. Let's meet here for a moment. And then tuck your toes under and transition yourself into a downward facing dog. Pedal the heels if you need to. Press both heels towards the ground. And after the shoulder release, how does this feel? Much easier, eh? Soften your knees, walk your feet halfway forward up your mats. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Stay there for a moment. You can soften your knees or straighten them. Just let yourself surrender into this position for a moment. Take a breath in. And then exhale, rolling yourself all the way back up. Rooting into the feet. Unravel. Allow your eye line to lift. Roll the shoulders back and around. So much freer, hey? And then just let yourself stand here for a moment. And as always, we want to just take a moment at the end of our class to observe and to integrate all our movements and all our breath. Noticing your body from the inside out. Feeling the space, and the ease around your belly and your abdominals, around your diaphragm, your lungs and your heart. Noticing those deep muscles, the intrinsic muscles around our joints. Noticing our bigger muscles, the more superficial muscles. Feeling your skin. And finally bringing your awareness to the layers upon layers of fat running through your body. When you're ready, opening your eyes, blinking gently. Let's finish with one big inhale. Exhale, open your arms, create that beautiful space for yourself. Roll the shoulders around, and then just give everything a little bit of a shake. Did you enjoy it? Do you want to try that?
Yeah.
Guys, Jules wants to try the little test where we did the thumb. Shall we try that quickly? It's so fascinating effect. So if you bring your right thumb out, and then open your arm to the side, and wow. I know, especially now that I've released my shoulder. That's crazy, hey? Try the other side, left hand, and open up. Wow. And bring it all the way to the front. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like almost way back.
I know, especially I can notice a big release on my right side.
Thank you.
You're
That was
welcome.
like, wow.
Did you enjoy it?
The
Cool.
shoulder release is incredible.
It's intense for a